What's up everyone, my name's Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we found a very interesting challenge in the comments. Thank you so much for suggesting it to me. Today's challenge be, can I be Pokemon Radical Red using only weapon Pokemon with Pokemon holding weapons or are based off weapons themselves. So I went through all 9 million Pokemon and I kind of found as many Pokemon that kind of resembles weapons and also have weapons and are based off weapons to my knowledge. And if there's any Pokemon that I did miss out on, let me know in the comments because I'm not too sure. There's a fine line between everything. I don't know. This either weapons or not weapons, and then the in-betweens. I got for sure what I know is weapons. So anyways, we have to beat Pokemon Radical Red, not hardcore mode, with only these type of Pokemon. I could use the pre-evolution into the evolve, and I'll try to explain to them why they're weapons. It should be self-explanatory, but I'll try to explain it as I'm catching them as well. And also the final rule in each of my challenge video, all my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So here are the nicknames I've used for this challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a Pokemon in my future challenge videos, just drop in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you guys are down there, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really help me out because showing support on these videos really let me know that you guys enjoy these videos. So it allows me to continue making them for you guys. So let's get into the challenge video itself. To start off with, there is actually a starter Pokemon that is kind of a weapon. We're going to choose ourselves a Squirtle for one. Squirtle is going to be our first Pokemon, our starter Pokemon. And it'll eventually evolve into a Blastoise, which is like as a tank. It has 2 guns on his back basically, and also a Mega Evolution where it becomes an actual tank. It's basically the poster Pokemon of weaponized Pokemon. So this is actually kind of cool. So we finally get to use Squirtle on our team. I don't think we ever use Squirtle as our main Pokemon. So Squirtle is going to be our starter Pokemon, and we're going to move out into Pewter City where we're able to find ourselves an Axew. And if you can't tell by the name Axew, it's based off Axis, or its final evolution in Haxorus has a whole axe on his face. So that's also another weaponized Pokemon. We're going to go out and battle the first mini boss in the game. We're going to face off against Faulkner fairly easily. We got very lucky though that we're able to knock out the Rufflet, sacrifice our Squirtle, and then Axew is able to beat down the Mocha, dodge his first attack, and then knock him out. And luckily the Corvus Squirtle gets his attack lower so much that it does not want to attack me, and I'm able to knock him out fairly easily, and we beat Faulkner. Now moving on, we're going to face off against Brock next. Brock is going to be the actual first gym of the game. We're going to face off against him and his rock types by starting off with my Squirtle to a Water Pulse. Luckily we get a Confusion. Geodude's gonna knock himself out in Confusion. Once the Vulpix comes out next, I'm gonna Rapid Spin twice in front of the Vulpix, take a hidden power, which is gonna be okay because I'm able to Water Pulse, knock him out with the following hit. And with 2 Rapid Spins, I'm able to outspeed Onix even if I get hit with a Rock Tomb or a Bodo. So I'm able to Water Pulse once again and knock out the Onix. I'm still faster than Arcan, so one shot in torrent range Water Pulse will knock out the Arcan, and we sweep Brock with just our Squirtle, which is pretty amazing. Next up, we can go out and catch our next Pokemon. We're going to go past Mount Moon and past Ruin City into Vermilion City. We're going to go out and get ourselves the Good Rod, which allows us to fly all the way back into Viridian City, and we're able to catch ourselves the next Pokemon, which is going to be Remoraid. Remoraid evolves into Octillery, which is based off a tank, artillery. You get my point. That's why I justify that as a weaponized Pokemon. We're also going to trade for a Farfetch, a Gallarian Farfetch, which will evolve into a Surfetch, which has a sword and shield. Spoiler, we actually don't get that far. We're just going to use Farfetch. We don't evolve it fully because it evolves off happiness, unfortunately. And then next, we're going to catch ourselves a Galarian Stunfisk. Surprisingly, we use Stunfisk on our team. Galarian Stunfisk is based off of bear traps and those kind of like open traps. So another weaponized Pokemon. Next up, we're going to face off against the second gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Misty and her water type Pokemon. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Octillery to Psybeam and Octazooka into the Floatzel, eventually forcing him out into his Lantern, which I'm able to get some chip damage off. I go out into my Axew next to dig right in front of him and pop him in his face. 2 digs will knock out the Lantern, which is amazing. And then she's going to go out to her Frogadier next, which will knock me out. But I'm able to get some nice chip damage with my Farfetch against a Frogadier. And then my Stunfisk has Sucker Punch, which will knock out the Floatzel and the Frogadier for us. Pretty amazing for us, as her final Pokemon will be a Starmie. I'm able to Sucker Punch twice into the Starmie. Well, unfortunately, it caught me, going back and forth. So I played that horribly. I go out to my Wartortle, I'm able to fake it out and then bite it. I'm going to Icy Wind it eventually, bite it once more, and then it's gonna still try to hit me for some reason instead of recovering. Side Shock will not knock me out, and I'm able to knock her out using a bite. And we knock out the second gym leader in the game. Quickly, we're gonna make our way back into Vermilion City and face off against the 3rd gym leader in the game. We're gonna face off against Lieutenant Surge and start the battle off against him using the same artillery. Now, artillery is going to Octazooka into the Pincurchin, which almost knocks him out. Could have been really good, but I switch out to my Marowak next to knock out the Pincurchin and also the Raichu. Surprisingly, I actually knocked him out. Then his next Pokemon will be a Vigavolt. I do break its Aqua Berry with my Fire Punch, but it will knock me out. So I decided to go out to my Blastoise, which I over leveled because I could use the Day Kill strategy. I am able to Scald and knock him out eventually. There we go. Crit him and knock him out. His next Pokemon will be a Manectric. Now he could just Charge Beam and knock me out. So I went for an Icy Wind here. Not too sure why he went for a Hidden Power Grass, but I am able to Scald into him. I get a lot of damage. He's gonna knock out my Blastoise. I'm gonna go out into my Gallarian Stunfisk next, and then I'm able to Bulldoze twice into the Bolton to knock him out, and his final Pokemon will be the Mega Manectric, which I am able to stay in and knock out because his Flame Burst do no damage. Filter is actually a pretty good ability, surprisingly, on Stunfisk. Now, next up, we're going to go past Rock Tunnel and head into Celadon City, where we're able to fish up our next Pokemon, which is going to be a Gallarian Slowpoke. Now, this Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro, which actually has a gun on his hand. We're going to capture this. It's obviously a weapon on his hand. It's actually a gun, like a cannon gun on his hand, like a blaster on his hand, which is kind of cool. And from there, we're going to face off against the next gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Erica and start the battle off against her using my Slowbro. Slowbro is going to yawn the first turn as it U-turns into a Sudowoodo. It's going to double back into his Rillaboom to get knocked out. Perfect for me. Well, her next Pokemon is giving me the same Sudowoodo. I yawned it, then I yawned again into the Venusaur, and then it's going to Earth Power and knock me out, but go to sleep. So then I could go out to my Fracture, so I could Dragon Dance 3 times in front of him. Aerial Ace almost knocks him out, avoid a Sleep Power, and then Aerial Ace once again to knock him out. She then switches out to her Meganing, which gets one shot at it with an Aerial Ace, and then her Superior, well, gets two shot at obviously, but I'm able to live a Dragon Pulse, and her final Pokemon will be a Sudowoodo, which I am able to do a lot of chip damage and finish the battle off against her using my artillery. Now after that, most of my Pokemon are replaced now because my team's a lot whole different. As you can see, as I'm beating down this Marowak on top of the Pokemon Tower, my team, it looks a lot different. I have a Decidueye now, and I also have a Haxorus that evolved, and also the second stage of Dreepy. Now, Decidueye has an arrow, that's why it's on my team. It's a weapon, arrow's a weapon. And then Dragapult, the evolutionary line of Dragapult, it's based off missiles, so I'm pretty sure those are weapons too. So that's kind of cool. We have an archer and a missile user. Since we have too many dragon types, I'm gonna replace my Haxorus eventually for a Scyther and Scizor. Obviously they're based off blades, so we're gonna use those later on. We're gonna face off against our rival at Silphco, which we're gonna demolish pretty easily, and then face off against Ariana and Archer in this double battle fight. We beat down them pretty easily. We didn't even use our Slowbro, and then move on and face off against the next gym leader in the game. We're gonna face off against Sabrina next. Sabrina is going to be the psychic gym leader in the game. Start the battle off against her using my Dragapult and my Decidueye. Now Decidueye, I trusted to knock out the Hatterene, and I Dragon Darts into the Indeedee using my Dragapult, and the Spirit Lock would knock out the Hatterene in one shot, which is surprising. I am able to survive expanding Force from the Indeedee and then double hit it and to knock out the Indeedee. Let the Porygon 2 set up Trick Room, and then I'm going to sack my Decidueye and my Dragapult to the next turn of Conkeldurr and Porygon 2 for sure, and then switch out into my Slowbro and also my Blastoise. Now we're going to double target. We should double target, but eventually we're able to knock out both the Conkeldurr and Porygon 2. And then our next two Pokemon will be the Crawdon and Gardevoir, which Trick Room's still up because of the Porygon 2. I'm able to shell Sidearm into the Gardevoir to one-shot it. It's so easy. Because Sabrina sets up Trick Room for us, things make it so much easier. We're eventually going to knock out the Crawdon, and we get the 5th gym badge in the game pretty easily. From there though, we're going to head into Fuchsia City, and as you can see, Stunfisk is becoming one of my favorite low-key Pokemon. It's super tanky, and it just has an like annoying moveset. Sucker Punch, Bulldoze, Bounce, Snap Trap, like all these are very like annoying moves, utility moves that doesn't seem like utility moves. Super fun to use. And then finally, we're going to head into the Survivor Zone and catch ourselves a Scyther, which evolves into a Scizor, and that will be obviously based on blades, like knives and swords. Those are cool. We're going to add it to our team as our final Pokemon with weapons. And we're not going to use Aeigislash. I think Aeigislash is kind of broken. I say that, but I use Dragapult, so, you know, I can't use all the broken Pokemon. Things would be too easy. So I'm using, like, some fun Pokemon throwing in here and there. Next up, we're going to face off against Koga. Koga is going to be the 6th gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Dragapult to Dragon Dance in front of him, and then just Dragon Darts right in front of the Greninja to knock him out. He sends out his Swallow next. I Dragon Darted to knock him out as well. He sends out his Drapion, which maybe thinking back, I could have just Dragon Dance once again to sweep the entire team, but I guess I didn't do it correctly. Scyther will knock out the Drapion as I go out into my Blastoise against the Dragapult. I'm getting Mega Evolve and then Ice Beam into Toxicity, which was a bad play because he's getting Overdrive. He's gonna knock me out, but I almost knock him out. So I go back into my Scyther to Bullet Punch to knock him out. And then his next Pokemon will be the Dragapult. I do some chip damage and then I go out into my Stun Fist to Sucker Punch. Stun Fist gets all the easy kills, and also it's just so tanky as well. Snap Trap into a Sucker Punch to knock out the Selgor, and we've beaten Koga super easily. Now next up, we're going to head into Seafoam Island where Scyther is going to Sword Dance and knock out the entirety of Price's team basically. So we get the Choice Scarf for pretty much free. And then we're going to face out against Jasmine, which we clear Jasmine, get the Choice Band as well. And then head into the 7th gym leader in the game. Face off against Blaine, start the battle off against him using my Dragapult, which will Dragon Dance in front of the Torkoal and then Dragon Dance once again. He switches out to his Cinderace, which is too late now. Dragon Darts will 2-shot him and knock him out. His next Pokemon will be a Typhlosion. I survive an Eruption. Dragon Darts to knock him out. Goes to Sunflora. Dragon Darts to knock him out. This is a whole massacre. He goes out to his Charizard Y. He gets down as well. His Torkoal comes out next. I survive a hit because he went for an explosion for some reason. And his final Pokemon will be a Venusaur, which gets one-shotted as well. And Blaine gets annihilated, which is kind of embarrassing for him. I can't lie. And then from there though, we're going to face off against Ariana and Archer in Cerulean Cave. Now this fight is actually pretty difficult. Luckily enough, we got lucky at the end. And it didn't go for a Sucker Punch. And we're able to beat Ariana and Archer. Move on, face off against Giovanni. We only lost one Pokemon at the very end, Giovanni fight, and we played this pretty well. Celesteela did get frozen, which isn't my fault, but it got very lucky. It might have just set up and sweep me, but I'm able to knock him out. And 2 Sucker Punch. I have so many Pokemon with Sucker Punches on my team, I just realized. But Sucker Punch to knock out the Mewtwo, and we beat Giovanni. And moving on into the 8th gym of the game, we're going to face off against Claire next. Claire is going to start the battle off against us using an Aerodactyl. We're going to 2-shot it, Bullet Punch, you know. Simple strategy. Then we're going to counter the Fire Punch into the Dragonite to knock him out. And then her next Pokemon will be a Magnera. I know it's going to try to do some goofy stuff. I go into my Slowbro to yawn it and put it to sleep. And then I decided to go out to my Dragapult to Dragon Darts into the Dragovish, which was a throw for some reason. I'm not too sure why I did that. But I also sacked my Scizor too, which is awful. So I sacked 2 Pokemon for that for no reason. She goes out to her Duraludon next. I do some chip damage. Not enough though. I decided to go out into my Slowbro next to just sack it as well. I'm just sacking all these Pokemon just horribly. I'm finally able to knock out the Duraludon with my Decidueye. And then I go out to my Stunfisk next. Survive a Flamethrower from the Naganadel. Bodos to knock out the Naganadel. The last Pokemon will be a Sleeping Magnera, which stays asleep for 2 turns, allowing me to lower his speed and then outspeed it for the 3rd turn, and Bodos to knock her out, which is very clutch. That sleep earlier, very clutch. And then from there, we're going to face off against our rival. We're going to face off against Brendan at the entrance of Victory Road. We're going to clear through him pretty easily, as you see. I actually outbeat the Jirachi right here. And then the last Pokemon will be a Sceptile, which knocks out my Decidueye, but I do have a Slowbro in the back, which will actually one-shot him with the Shell Sidearm, which is, does it smack him or is it like a blaster? I want to see the anime of that. But anyways, from there, we can finally head into Victory Road, and Victory Road is looking pretty clean, I'm not going to lie. We cleared through Victory Road in record time, of course. Our team is looking pretty solid. This is the time where I'm going to use all of my rare candies, level up my Pokemon to 86, and get on and face off against the Elite Four. Now starting off our Elite Four challenge, we're going to face off against Lorelei. Lorelei is going to be the water or ice type Elite Four member depending on which team you face off against. We're going to face off against her ice team because my Pokemon is just better off with them. We're going to Fire Blast into the Glaceon using my Slowbro and Bullet Punching to knock out the Ninetales using my Scizor to avoid the Aurora Veil, which is very crucial to do. And then from there, once the Ninetales go down, I'm able to Bullet Punch into the Glaceon because it's still hailing, so we gotta avoid the Slush Rush on it. I am able to go out to my Stunfisk to Snap Trap into the Azumarill and also knock him out in the following turn. So 3 Pokemon down on her side already. Amazing. She goes out to a Calyrex next. It's going to double KO me, but I did some chip damage off against her, which is nice. I go out to my Blastoise and also my Decidueye next. Blastoise can outspeed the Calyrex, Dark Pulse into him and knock him out, and also I outspeed the Rotom and Leaf Blade him to knock him out. Now Lorelei only has 1 Pokemon left, and we're able to just double team it. The Decidueye goes down, but my Dragapult also has Flamethrower, So we're able to knock out the Abomasnow and clear through the first Elite Four member of the game. Super simple. Moving on, we're going to face off against Bruno. Bruno is going to be the fighting type Elite Four member of the game, starting the battle off against us using an Infernape. We're going to Psychic into him using my Slowbro to knock him out, which is nice. Shifu was going to knock out my poor Slowbro as I go out into my Blastoise. Blastoise has a great situation here because I'm able to Shell Smash up and then Skull one-shot their Shifu. Pretty nice. She goes out to a Conqueror next. I don't get burned. I don't get anything from it. So I am able to do some chip damage. But then I'm able to go out to my Dragapult to Dragon Dance right in front of it. Take a knockoff, which is annoying. But Dragon Darts will almost knock him out. And then I can go out to my Scyther to Bullet Punch, knock him out. He then goes out to his Como, which I'm just letting him just set up because he has no fire move to attack me. And then I'm like, he might hit pretty hard. He almost one-shot my Scyther with an Aurosir, but I'm able to live it. Get +6, Bullet Punch, knock out the Como. I'm able to one-shot the Zacian in his face. Kinda, almost basically. I have 2 more Pokemon with Sucker Punch, so I'm able to Sucker Punch into the Zacian to knock him out. He then goes out to his Lucario, which I'm like, uh-oh. So I decided to go out to my Decidueye, 2000 arrows him, which is a fun move to have on my Decidueye. It almost knocks him out, and then I'm able to Sucker Punch into him. He's gonna knock me out because obviously he's +2, but I have another Sucker Punch user in my Stunfisk, which will knock him out, and Stunfisk saves the day. We beat Bruno. And now we can move on and face off against Agatha next. Agatha is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Dragapult, which gets a cheeky Dragon Dance off against him because it outspeed the Zoroark, avoiding the taunt and then one-shotting it using Dragon Darts. It's also getting one-shot the Spectre where the Sucker Punch is crazy. And then it's not going to one-shot the Silvally. It's going to go down, but the sweeping does not stop there. I go out to my Scizor to Swords Dance right in front of him and avoid the Thunder Wave, and then Bullet Punch will knock him out. He goes out to his aeigislash next. She is going to play this horribly. I'm able to use Roost Off whenever I want. Get a Swords Dance, Roost Off, Swords Dance, Roost Off, and then Bullet Punch twice to knock out the aeigislash, which should have been on my team. But you know what? Aeigislash is kind of broken under my hands, you know. We have to let the AI have a fair shot. I'm able to also Bullet Punch into the Marshadow to two-shot him. Well, he's going to Shadow Sneak me, but I go out to my Stunfisk next to Sucker Punch, and then Bodos into the Gengar and Sucker Punch to knock him out, and we end up beating Agatha with speedy. It was like a minute, I swear. Next up, we're going to face off against Lance next. Lance is going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Dragapult to Dragon Dance right in front of the Aerodactyl because I outspeed it, and then Dragon Darts to knock him out. He goes out to his Dialga next, which I do about have to, which is nice. Force him to rest. So I decided to go out to my Blastoise next, and then Shell Smash right in front of the Dialga, and then it's going to Sleep Talk Rest, which is already sleeping, force him out. He's going to go out to his Dragonite, which I break his Multi-Scale. I'm able to Ice Beam knock him out, which is amazing. He goes out to his Dragovich next. I one-shot him using Dark Pulse, and then his next Pokemon will be a Melmetal. I'm praying I get a burn on him. I get the burn on him, and I two-shot the Melmetal. I also outspeed the Salamence to one-shot him, and then that's so quick, such a quick sweep, just because Dialga messed up in that turn. And I'm able to knock out Lance and basically secure that fight. Next up, we're going to face off against our rival, the champion of the game. We're going to face off against our rival and start the battle off against him using my Scizor to Bullet Punch into the Pheromosa. This is to bait in Metagross, which we do perfectly. Metagross comes out, it's going to Fire Punch me. I think that's an illegal move, but you know what? We'll let it slide. As I go to my Decidueye next to Spirit Lock him. Almost get him down to low HP, so I can go out to my Blastoise next, Shell Smash right in front of him, and then get another Shell Smash up. He's gonna BP me, and then I'm able to Scald, knock him out as I'm on red HP. Then his next Pokemon will be a Yveltal, which I go out and Ice Beam it, knock him out, pretty free. His next Pokemon will be a Darmanitan. I Scald it, one-shot it. His next Pokemon will be a Groudon, Primal Groudon, Dark Pulse, crit. I don't know if the crit matters or not, but I did knock it out in one shot. And his last Pokemon will be Eternatus, which I'm able to Ice Beam, one-shot it, and we end up beating our rival, the champion of the game, using Blastoise, which is kind of poetic. The most weaponized Pokemon in the world, the poster board for a weaponized Pokemon, and it cleans up Lance and Gary at the end, and we are the champions of Radical Red once again with weaponized Pokemon. Thank you so much for leaving the suggestion in the comments. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. It was fun to do. We did it under like 3 hours, which is completely insane. A Pokemon Radical Red run is under 3 hours. It's incredible to me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment down below some more challenges just like these, and subscribe if you're not already. It'll greatly help me out. And my name has been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day. I'm out. Peace.